Hi everybody, welcome back to Be Wowed by April Lee. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I want to take the time to welcome all my new subscribers. They are slowly trickling in, so welcome. I hope you will enjoy my channel. I hope you will enjoy this stuff I talk about. I'm still learning, even though I've been on YouTube for 3 years. In those 3 years, I went through a lot of personal stuff, health stuff. I'm still going through a lot of health stuff, but, I don't think that'll ever change. But that's totally off the topic of this video. This is a very somber request. I know usually we like to keep things all cheery in the Yarny and fiber community. However, something had happened back in my hometown of Nescopeck, Pennsylvania on Friday early morning. And I know you all are fantastic with prayer requests. Therefore, I want to shout out and ask if you all can help me with some prayers for a family who has been tremendously impacted by a horrific fire that took place this weekend at one of their family's homes in Nescopeck, Pennsylvania. Give me 1 second. And so that's what I'm here for. So if you don't watch the national news, this actually, I heard a news station say that it was being covered nationally, and I was just like, this little town of 1,600 people, a fire being broadcasted nationally, I'm like, wow, that's insane. So I didn't give it another thought until the very first day that I get my subscription to our local newspaper here. Like, I actually get the Sunday paper and then the online version. So the very first day that I get the physical paper to my front door is the day that the newspaper ran the sad story about this family who had lost many family members as well as animals in this fire. I'm going to place a link in the description box below if you haven't heard about it. If you're not from my hometown area, you don't have to look it up if you don't want, because I know sometimes these things are really hard for people to handle. But this family truly needs us and truly needs a whole bunch of prayers that we can send. And I just felt that reaching out to all my yarn and fiber people couldn't help, right? Everybody needs prayers, extra prayers, but when I explain briefly what had happened, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the fire started approximately between 2 and 3 a.m. on Friday morning. And apparently there were a total of 13 people in the home, as well as 13 dogs. From the descriptions of the neighbors, that they just heard loud pops and went outside, and the whole entire house was engulfed in flames. Only 3 out of the 13 people made it out alive. They're not sure of how many dogs perished, but I'm pretty sure if 10 people in the home passed away, unless the dogs got lucky and maybe followed those 3, some of the dogs followed those 3 out. I don't see they would be surviving either. Of those 10 people that passed away in this home, 3 of them were children, ages 5, 6, and 7. it's just really sad, and I'm not going to go into detail because I've battled my emotions all week and about this. And although I wasn't close to any of these people, I did go to school with one of the girls, one of the ladies that was in the fire. Her and her husband both passed away in the fire. The whole entire family are related to my very first husband, and they are related through my oldest nephew Nathan, his stepdad. I might be wrong with that, but I think it's his stepdad's relation that passed away. I don't know the names of the three people offhand that got out alive. But I do know that one of the first responders that arrived on scene. Now, mind you, this is a community of 1,600 people, or approximately. So all of our firefighters, I say our because I was born and raised in this town. So it will forever be in my heart. I'm always going to be belonging to Nescopeck, Pennsylvania, always. Anyhow, so all the firefighters are volunteer. There is no paid firefighting in around our area unless you get up into like Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, or down into, I believe, Lewisburg and some of those larger communities. But anyhow, so one of the firefighters, who has been a firefighter for 40 years plus, got the call, and the original call that came in was that the neighbor's house was on fire. So, because I guess the neighbor was one of the neighbors reported it, so they took down their address thinking that that was the house that was on fire. He described it, the firefighter described it as we came around the corner in the rig, he then realized that it was not the neighbor's house that was on fire, it was his family's house that was on fire. They got to the fire, he grabbed a hose and ran into the fire. Of course, what else would you do if you were a trained firefighter and had the fire hose available, the gear available? I would go in and try to save my family. Yeah, heck yeah. They just could not get in. The flames were so bad. When the fire chief found out whose family that they were, he had that firefighter pulled from the scene and had somebody take him back to the firehouse where they stayed with him. And so, as you can tell, our little community of Nescopeck, Pennsylvania, they really need prayers for this family to be going out. I'm not going to say any names. If you want to look at their names, you can pull it up on the website that I sent. I put the link in there for. If you live near there, or you want to donate stuff, or you want to financially donate, I know I can find a place that is taking donations for them. One place I know of is the mayor of our next town over, Berwick, Pennsylvania. I know I just read on his Facebook yesterday that he is hosting a raffle, and he had all kinds of people text messaging him on Facebook saying, I'll donate 2 baskets, just let me know when and where to drop them off. And so I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of stuff going on. But can you imagine being a family? So for instance, I got off track. This firefighter that came to the scene, in that house was his son and his daughter, along with in-laws and all kinds of family. So, this family is going to need assistance financially. The people that got out alive they're ready to, they set up a clothing fund or a clothing drive for them where you can drop off the clothing that the sizes and stuff that they need. People are dropping off cases of water for the firefighters, cases of water for like when they host families, and maybe have a counselor come to the firehouse to help the family with some counseling, whatever they do, I'm not sure. But our little communities, we may be small, but when something like this happens, people stand up and pull together. And being that I'm not home and physically can't help anybody, this is how I can help people, is I can request a prayer for the family and the family members that are still surviving and having to go through all this grief, and just praying that they get through this grief as best as possible and that they have people out there that can help them through it, and that nothing else happens to where it takes another family member. So please, if you pray, whoever you pray to, it doesn't make a difference. As long as it's a higher being, every religion has a higher being that you can pray to. So please send out positive energies, prayers, whatever your religion is. Please just pray for this family to help get through this. Pray for the communities who are helping the families get through this. And I want to just take the time right now to thank each and every one of you, because I know you guys are awesome when it comes to praying and helping send out prayers. So thank you so much in advance for stepping up and helping me do this for the family. At least I can do this much. So yes, so thank you very much. I appreciate you spending some time with me tonight regarding this, and I really hope we can get a lot of prayers out there for this family. Thank you so much, everybody. I love each and every one of you, and have a great night.